And we back. Now today is a very, very special day. See, I've been challenged to do this wheel of death. See, I gotta whisper it because YouTube always demonetizes certain words like death. So instead, we're calling it wheel of suffering. Now this comment comes from B21R. I have been seeing him commented on my videos for the last couple weeks. I haven't been ignoring it. I was just waiting for the perfect time. So he says, stop trying to hide from me, Kenny. The wheel of death. Rebuilding challenge, and here are the rules. Start as a normal fantasy draft. Turn off trade deadline and trade restrictions. Every other time you lose, you spin a wheel with a variety of punishments. And then he goes on to list a bunch, but I already have them put out, so let me show you some of the things. So this wheel, again, is my wheel of suffering because I'm gonna have to spend it, and there's not many good things on here. We do have 2 safe spots, but let me show you the things we could potentially get. Sign Felicio and play him 15 minutes per game. That's for 5 games. So we're already starting off with a huge L. Trade for Robert Covington and start him. That's 2 bad things. Well, all of them are gonna be bad. Trade all your first round picks for seconds. Now that depends on where we are in our rebuild, yada yada yada. Accept the first trade finder offer you get for a random player. Now if we hit that, I'll explain that even more. I'll explain these even more if we land on it. Accept the worst trade for your second best player. There's our safe spot. Accept every trade you get for a week. Start the 10th man for a week. Reserve your best player for a week. Blindfolded trade finder. Start Jonte Porter for 5 games, which means that we're going to have to go out there and sign Jonte Porter. Another safe. Reserve our starting 5. Hire the worst coach possible. Literally, if they got an FF, that's our starting coach. Change the system fit for a week. Lower your top scorer shot tendency by 50%. If we have James Harden, who basically has a 100% shot tendency, we cut that in half by 50%. And then lastly, random number trade finder. So regardless, we're going to be suffering. So that's why you should leave a like, because throughout all this suffering, the one thing that makes me happy is seeing a lot of likes on the video and seeing so many new people subscribe. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, now is your time. So first thing we have to do, of course, is to randomly pick a team. I'm going to close my eyes and we're going to stop in 3, in 2, in 1. We're ending with the Houston Rockets. I mentioned James Harden's name earlier, and now we get the Houston Rockets. This is a sign. This is a sign that we are all on the same page. And I got the first pick. That is random. Y'all saw me do it randomly. You saw me do it randomly. There's no rig in the system. That is 2 videos in the row. Where I end up with the first pick. Oh my God. Everything is... I gotta find a Rocket shirt. I know I got 1 Rocket shirt in this house. All right, beautiful. This is one of my favorite shirts in my entire collection. It's from the back-to-back championships that they won, so shout out to them. Understand me? All right, so randomly draft our team. That is staying consistent across my videos. My assistant GM comes in and does his thing. I'm guessing that Luka's going to be on our team again. That is like 3 times in 2 weeks, and it's all been random. Luka, Lowry, Wiggs, Bamba, Willie Cauley-Stein, Kenneth Faried, Kyle Kuzma, Brent Forbes, Josh Hart, Chris Clemens, Short King stand up, Justin Jackson, Sekou, Garrison Matthews, Tremont Waters, another Short King. Man, my assistant GM knows exactly who his real GM is. Okay, so he says in the challenge, I get to create the team I want, so I get to do trades right now. It's when we start simulating is when we have to spin the wheel. So let me try to build this perfect team first. We can't trade all of our picks, but we can use some of them. So I have Kyle Lowry and Wiggins as trade options or trade pieces, which is cool. Mo Bamba, yo, we may be able to get like a superstar. Mo Bamba's trade value is 3.5 stars. Kyle Kuzma's 2.5. Wiggs is 3.5. Yo, we legitimately might be able to go out and get a superstar player. Sekou, 3-star. Yes. Let me find a power forward or center that we could potentially get. I've tried to trade for Karl-Anthony Towns pretty much every video over the past couple weeks. Whether or not you've seen it is, sometimes I cut it out. I want to get Karl-Anthony Towns, and hopefully he's on a team that we can snag him from. And he plays for the Cavs. And the Cavs have Robert Covington. They have Chris Paul. They have Karl-Anthony Towns. It's a solid looking team with Kelly Oubre. That was an accident. Let's see what we can get. Now, I did see that they wanted, who did they want? They wanted Alec Burks, But I'm not thinking about that right now. I want to just straight up try to trade for him. What is our pick value? 2-star. Okay, 2 stars not amazing. So we'll give you we'll give you Wiggs, trade, you know, homies for each other. I'll give you Sekou Doumbouya. I'll give you Mo Bamba. Look at that. Oh yeah, this might be the one time we can trade for him. We actually have assets. You could keep Ja. Give us back Jerome Robinson. And can we fill this with picks? There it is. Karl-Anthony Towns is now on the team. So I don't even remember what we all threw in. We threw in Wiggs. We threw in 2 first-round picks. Sekou and Mo Bamba to get Karl-Anthony Towns onto the roster. So now we have this tandem, a 20-year-old Luka and a 23-year-old Karl-Anthony Towns, 2 very, very good players. And on top of that, I still have Kyle Lowry on the team. And now we can just build out the rotation. We had too many bigs. So I like Kenneth Faried, man. Kenneth Faried had a nice last year, and he actually was playing here in Houston. 10 points per game, about 7 rebounds. He actually played pretty solid. He was hitting threes. Kenneth Faried was expanding his game. And then nobody signed him. Then he went over to play overseas. So let me see what Kyle Lowry and Willie Cauley-Stein could get us. I like Kyle Lowry. I'm not opposed to keeping him around. But if I could get some upgrades, I definitely will. And I consider this an upgrade. We're going to trade for Donovan Mitchell. I know Kyle Lowry does all the small stuff, you know, to make the team win. But Donovan Mitchell's going to come to the team. And now I'm going to run him and Luka together. Because y'all know Luka is basically a point guard in itself. I wonder if I make him a point guard, his overall drops. And I'm okay with just having him a shooter guard playing point guard. So now we got this 3-headed monster, 3 all-star caliber players. I say caliber because y'all know that Karl-Anthony Towns did not make the all-star game this year. But we know that he can get it done. You understand me? So now we have to make more trades in the money situations where things are going to get a little bit iffy. You know what? No, it's not. Because, wait, let me go to my cap. Yeah, I got a lot of money because Luka's on a rookie contract. Donovan Mitchell's on a rookie contract. So we have a lot of money that we could potentially take in, which is beautiful. I'm going to trade for Mitchell Robinson and DJ Augustine. Karl-Anthony Towns going to run the 4 for us. Y'all know if you make any center a power forward, this overall jumps up significantly. So Karl-Anthony Towns is going to jump up to like a 93. I don't know why he's overall is down. But you about to play for the most winningest team you've ever played for, Cat. So you should be happy right now. So he's going to run power forward for us. We need to upgrade our small forward because Josh Hart is a cool dude and all. But you know what I mean. You know, I'd much rather have somebody better than him. And then even with that trade, we didn't even take in salary really because Mitchell Robinson was a 2nd-round pick. And then DJ Augustin is making like $7 million, so we still got room to grow. My new small forward is going to be Spencer Dinwiddie. If you do not know, with Spencer Dinwiddie being 6'5", right, he can run that small forward. His overall even goes up to an 84, so he's going to run small forward for us. Luka, Donovan Mitchell, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karl-Anthony Towns. It's weird that they have like the same poster animation, you know what I'm saying? That's very, very weird to me. Then we have Mitchell Robinson. Our bench could use a little bit of help. We don't need Kenneth Faried anymore because Derek Favors is now backup center. So let's go flip Kenneth Faried. We're going to trade for the Knicks' 1st-round pick. It's 3.5 stars. We also get Denzel Valentine. Now, I'm going to use that in another trade and maybe upgrade Spencer Dinwiddie. Throw that Knicks pick in. See Derrick Rose and Drew Holiday. That's cool, but we're looking for an upgrade at small forward. Chris Middleton, and we're exchanging 1st-round picks here. Deal. I did realize that part of the challenge, he said turn off trade restrictions. So that's part of the reason why the money does not matter. He told me to turn off trade restrictions. So we can pretty much trade for the most expensive players in the NBA and it will never hurt us. But that's the sake of the challenge. You know what I'm saying? That's the sake of us living in a fantasy world. But now we have basically an all-star 4 right here. You know what I'm saying? With Chris Middleton being in there as well. And then our bench has DJ Augustine, Derek Favors, Brent Forbes. I don't like that these guys are at the bottom of it. So let me make one more trade and upgrade Denzel Valentine for a better backup small forward. And then we're finally ready. We're finally ready, ladies and gentlemen, to do what we came here to do, is to spin the wheel. I see Marcus Morris, so I can make a small forward. I see Michael Porter Jr. Okay. And this is why you don't give me these type of restrictions. You don't tell me to turn off trade restrictions because I will put together a team with a bunch of stars. Like, I guess nowadays DeMar DeRozan is not considered a star because he hasn't made an all-star game in a couple years. But if DeMar DeRozan is your 6th man, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be doing fine, you know? So I love the way our team is looking right now. Donovan Mitchell gets his minutes. And I think we're finally ready to start our simulation process. I think the only thing we have to do is fill out our roster. So I signed in, of course, you know, the boy Joakim Noah and then Mike Scott. And now we are completely ready to go. Are y'all ready? Every other loss, we have to spin the wheel. So let's see how long it takes for us to get those 2 losses. I mean, it may take a while because we did put to, we may only spin the wheel one time this whole video. I'll cut back when we get our first loss. The first loss happened against the Spurs. They beat us by 2. They have Jokic, D'Angelo Russell. So the next time we lose a game, we have to spin the wheel. But we started off 19-1. So them boys are good. And just like that, literally the next game. And we lost to Klay Thompson, Clint Capella, Mikal Bridges. Shout out to the homie. And yeah, that's all she wrote, folks. So it's time to spin the wheel for the first time. I'm so afraid of what we can get. Here we go. I'ma spin it. And let's see what we land on. It can really mess up our entire things. Lower top scorer shot Tennessee by 50%. So that could be Luka. That could be Cat. I'm guessing it's going to be Luka because Luka be averaging like 35-point triple-doubles. So whatever his shot Tennessee on, I have to cut it in half. And our top scorer is Luka. So he's taking about 16 shots per game. And well, that is going to change now. His shot Tennessee is a 95. So we cut 95 and a half. You can't technically do that because you'll get a decimal. So we're going to just do it to the lower. You know what I'm saying? So let me do some math. And I got my phone now because your boy definitely had trouble with math when he was in them classes. So we're going to lower his shot Tennessee all the way down to 47. That's tough. All right, so we get back to the simming process. Loses 2. What? So we're gonna lose 4 games in 2 weeks? Just that fast. Let's see how Luka performed. That first game of his shot Tennessee being low, the man took a total of 3 shots. He took 3 shots the whole game. And then the game after that, he took a total of 6 shots. Bro, what's the point of having Luka if he's not out there killing people? Not literally, obviously. So we have to spin the wheel again. So here we go. It is the wheel of suffering. So I can only sit back and relax and enjoy the ride as we change the system fit for a week. Not only do we change it to whatever the worst one is. So right now we're running 7 seconds or less because we have Mike D'Antoni. Defense seems like it's going to be the thing we have to change it to because, I mean, we have Luka. We don't have great defenders on this team. So we're changing our system to defense for an entire week. So from this moment to this moment, let's see how it goes. We win 2 and we lose 1 in that span. Luka put up 20 that game. In this game, Luka puts up 16. It's still not the Luka we know. He got all of those points, or majority of those points at the free throw line. But we did lose 1 game. So the next game we lose, I mean, we have to spin the wheel again. So now it has been a week, so we could go back to our 7 seconds or less offense because that was working beautifully for us. And we go back to simming. Something tells me we're probably going to lose soon because the boys ain't putting it together. That's another loss. We started off like 19-1, and then here we are just... They must know this is a video. DeMar DeRozan in 26 minutes, 25 points. All right, we're spinning the wheel for the 3rd time in the video already. And specifically in his comment, he said, do not take things out if you land on it. He wants the potential of us landing on things 2 times. Are we set? We're not safe. And not only are we not safe, we have to accept the worst trade for our 2nd best player. And our 2nd best player overall wise is Karl-Anthony Towns. I gave up all those assets to get him, and now we're giving him away to the worst trade. All right, Cat, he's a 93 overall, lower than Luka. It's only 5 trade offers. Now, how do I decide which trade is the worst? Very interesting, because all of these trades are similar in their own way, right? So how do I determine which one is the worst one? Because I would say this is the worst one, right? Because we get Brandon Ingram, but Brandon Ingram is an all-star. You know what I'm saying? So which one of these trades is really the worst? This one is not the worst by far. This is probably the best. Jaylen Brown and Bam Adebayo. So that's off the table. Zach LaVine is a borderline all-star, and Wendell Carter is an up-and-coming player. Brandon Ingram is an all-star. See, the reason why I might think that this is the worst trade is because it's only 1 asset we're getting back. Unless you, I mean, I guess that's an asset too. D'Angelo Russell and Blake Griffin. I would say the Blake Griffin contract makes this a bad one, but there's no contracts really because trade restrictions are off. So that doesn't make this bad. This is a good trade, I think. So I think it's between the Zach LaVine trade. I think we have to ask Twitter. All right, so I got my tweet. I'm putting it on a total of just 5 minutes. If you do not follow me on Twitter, it's at KOT for Q. Be sure to follow because you could have helped this process. So here we go. Send the tweet and we sit back and relax. Okay, y'all. So according to the poll, and do not get mad at me because I can't vote in the poll. I just put it out there. So it's y'all. Be mad at yourselves. 43% of people said that D'Lo and Blake is the worst trade here. 39% said it would be Levine, Wendell Carter, and about 18% said Brandon Ingram. So this is the trade that we have to do. D'Angelo Russell's coming to the team alongside Blake Griffin. Our second best player is traded. Now with that being done, we have to decide. I'm still starting I'm still starting Donovan Mitchell over D'Angelo Russell. I mean, look at the numbers that he's putting up. 23 points per game, 50% from 54% for the field. He's having a ridiculous season. Chris Middleton versus, okay, I guess we'll start DeMar. Blake is having a bad year, averaging 11. But I guess that's okay. D'Angelo Russell's averaging 17. Derek Favors is cold. He can't hit a shot. This is the roster we're running with, at least until we lose our next 2 games, because after that, there's 1 loss. We might as well sit here for it. Oh my God, my boys can't put wins together. We have to spin it again, and we'll see what it'll be. You know what I'm saying? It can't get much worse. It ain't like we got to trade our best player, but instead, we just have to reserve him for a week. So Luka is on the bench for an entire, not even just on the bench. He's not even traveling with us. So Luka, I'm exchanging you for Jerome Robinson there, but y'all know Jerome Robinson's not actually gonna get minutes for me, right? We're gonna put Donovan Mitchell there. We're gonna put D'Angelo Russell there. Take all these minutes away. And we're going to give Brent Forbes some minutes. We're going to give DJ Augustine some minutes and just kind of spread the wealth with these minutes. All right. So this is only for a week, though. So we'll come back January 5th. And now we can put Luka back in the lineup. And the next loss we get, we have to spin. All right. So we got the rotation exactly the way I wanted again. And now we are back. We are back in the next time. I'm so disappointed in this team. I thought we put together like a team that was going to win a total 10 losses, but we have 10 losses in the first 40 games, which means that we're spinning this wheel for the 5th time. And this time around, please just land on safe. Just land on safe when we get out of here. And instead, we have to reverse our starting 5. Now, what that means is that my center has to play point guard. My point guard has to play center, and so on and so forth. Especially my small forward gets to stay the same, but let me fix that. Now, this is also for a week. I don't know if it set that, but now we have Mitchell Robinson running our point guard. I'm guessing we're going to catch a few quick losses here. A few quick losses, and we can change things back right here at this date. We lose a game. We lose just 1 game there. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. And now we can put the rotation exactly where we want it again, and we can get back to simulating. But the next loss, we do have to spin it again. And hopefully my team hits that second wind. And okay, not only did we lose 1 here, which means that we have to spin, now we lose another. So the one after this, anyway, another spin time. Anywho, we are here to spin it again. And we were so close to getting safe last time. And now we have to start our 10th man for a week. That's not a terrible one. So our 10th man is Brent Forbes. So since he is a shooting guard, he has to start over Luka. And not only that, he'll get the amount of minutes Luka would normally get. So it's only for a week. It's only for a week. So that's not terrible. Brent Forbes is not a bad NBA player by any means. He just ain't no Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? And it's only for a week. It is only for a week. And the next loss we get, which is right here, we have to spin. Brent Forbes, thank you for your service, but you are out of here in your 28 minutes here. You only score 5 points. Luka is doing way better than that. I mean, I guess Luka's doing better than that, but with him having a shot tendency so low, maybe he's not. So the next spin says that we have to trade for Robert Covington and start him. No, this is not a 1 week thing. This one is definite. So Robert Covington is going to have to get traded for and be a starter. And if I'm not mistaken, he was playing for the Cavs. I think he was playing for the same team that Cat was playing for. Yeah, there he is. They want Joakim Noah in the 1st round pick. That is the easiest trade. I mean, obviously, Joakim, we would love to keep him around on the roster and all. But you know what I'm saying? We have to do what we have to do. So I'm not even going to make Robert Covington a small forward because I'd much rather have Chris Middleton and DeMar DeRozan run that spot. So he's going to take Blake Griffin's spot in the starting lineup. And that's the way we running. And the next 2 losses, well, y'all know the drill. So there's a loss there. These losses don't count. Obviously, it's the All-Star game. I can't control that. That is not my team. But this is the first loss, and hopefully we don't get another one. We only have a few months left, man. My boys, I'm not saying they could win out. But we may only have to spend it like 1 or 2 more times this entire video. Or or my guys just destroy the game. As soon as I start getting kind of cocky, they cost me a little bit. And it's only like 4.5 weeks left of the season, so hopefully my boys don't lose 2 more in this span. But let me spin first. See how it goes. Hopefully we can land on a safe spot. I keep hoping for it, and it's never happened. We cannot get that because we already did Robert Covington. Pause. We already traded for Robert Covington and started him. Instead, we have to do a blindfold trade finder. Now, one thing he did say is that when we do this, it doesn't have to be our best player, but I'm going to make sure it's somebody that does matter, because that would be no fun to y'all if I trade findered Jerome Robertson with a blindfold. No, that's kind of lame. So I'm going to make sure it's one of our top 7 guys, and I'm going to make it, you know what? Watch this. Hey Siri. Pick a number 1 through 7.
A random number between 1 and 7 is 4.
So we're trading the 4th best player on the roster, and that is DeMar DeRozan. He has 18 trade offers, and I'm blindfolding myself. I promise you, and I'll do this just to make sure. And I'm just gonna hold the right trigger, and I'm gonna stop in 3, and 2, and 1. We're getting Hassan Whiteside. I don't even know what the other options were, but Hassan Whiteside is not a good one. I tell you that much. He is not a good one. But you know what we could do? Oh, you know what? We can't do that because not Donovan Mitchell, but Rocco has to start for us. So that's not a good trade. DeMar DeRozan's having a really good season for us, and we trade him just like that. And with the remainder time of the season, there's 1 loss. Hopefully we don't get another, because if we do, it's almost there. Do not lose any more of these games. Win out. Dang, within the last week of the season. Bro, this last spin can destroy everything we've built. They can destroy everything we've built. Wheel of Suffering. Here we go. The last spin is accept every trade you get for a week. That could literally destroy everything we built. Because not only are we accepting every trade for a week, we have to turn the trade tendency up to 100. And every single thing we're offered in the last week of the season, we have to say yes to. So here we are with trade tendency. We're bumping that up to the max. And with this last week of the season, we get offered 1 trade. Kelly Oubre. Sure. I mean Hassan Whiteside's the better player overall wise, but I'm not gonna complain with getting Kelly Oubre. You know what I'm saying? So do we only get 1 trade? I mean, we only get 1 trade. We only got 1 trade that entire time. Okay. LeBron plays for the Bulls and he wins MVP. Zion, Aaron Gordon, 6th man. Kawhi, Defensive Player of the Year. Bam, Most Improved. And then Mike D'Antoni wins Coach of the Year. The Wheel of Suffering was a real thing, but we still put together one of the best teams in the league. Let me put our boy, we got to obey the challenge rules. We always will. I'm going to take their favorites minutes away. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that because we had to trade Hassan Whiteside. So our team is looking like this. Robert Covington gets his starter minutes. Donovan Mitchell, I'm going to still give him some minutes to be one of the best 6 men in the league. And in the first round, we're going against the Spurs, who have Corey Joe, Evan Fournier, Harrison Barnes. They have Cat and Jokic together. Wow. But that did not matter. Second round, we're going against the Clippers, Kyrie and CJ. They have Marcus Gasol down there, former Defensive Player of the Year, but that does not matter. Minnesota Timberwolves are next. They have Bradley Beal. They have Spencer Dinwiddie. This is not a great team compared to us. They take a game, but it does not matter long term. Now we go against Kawhi in the championship. I feel like I say that in every single video, but they don't have the pieces, and just like that, the Wheel of Suffering is over. Luka wins Finals MVP, even though his numbers were down because we had to destroy his shot tendency. But nonetheless, that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, as always, be sure to leave it a like. This was fun. This was really, really fun. So shout out to the original content or commenter. Appreciate you. Peace.